DJ here with the Chief Peak, and today we're going to be going through a 15-minute knee pain routine. And so I use this routine personally almost every morning, and it helped me eliminate knee pain and increase range of motion in my knees in a matter of months. Within the first week, I already started noticing less pain and aching in my knees, specifically my left knee, because I've had a few knee surgeries on it and need a third. And then after like 2 months, 3 months, my knees have been feeling fantastic. And so I just want to let you guys see my routine that I personally go through to help with my knee pain, and it has worked wonders for me. And so I want to share it with you guys. For this routine, you will need something such as a bench or an ottoman, a couch, something like that, so you can do a quad stretch, which is right here. So I'm going to put my foot up on that right there to drop down, stretch out my quads. You will need some way to elevate your heels. I have these squat wedges or calf blocks right here. You could use a weight plate or something else to kind of lift up your heels. You don't actually need this. And then lastly, you're going to need a foam roller, so we can do some myofascial release with that bad boy during our workout. We have 2 minutes of that, so I hope you're ready to embrace the pain on that bad boy. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. We're about 20 seconds until we get into the routine. If you have a fitness tracking watch and you want to start it, be sure to do that now. Our first exercise we're going to go into is bodyweight squats. So I believe we have like 4 exercises that we're going to kind of do as our initial warm-up for the routine. So bodyweight squat, feet about shoulder width apart. We're just going to drop into a squat, come back up. There we go. So every rep, I'm just trying to drop a little bit further, kind of take an inventory of how I feel for the day, any aches, pains, odd things like that. So then I can kind of work on them as well. There we go. Chest out, head up. I'm slowly trying to kind of drop in to a full squat here. It's okay if you can't. Just try to drop down as far as you can. Nice controlled movements here. We're going to spread our feet out a little wider. We're going into alternating lateral lunges. Again, trying to keep the back nice and straight, hinging at the hips, leaning forward a little bit is fine. Oh. Don't forget to breathe. There we go. Again, we're just warming up right here. I am trying to go a little bit further each rep. Really feel it stretch out. Going into alternating hip flexor stretch. So we're going to drop down, come up, switch sides. This is a more dynamic stretch right here. So I'm not going to just sit and hold. I'm going to drop down, give it a few seconds, come back up, switch sides. Again, we're trying to warm up the legs. Paying attention to how the joints feel, how the muscles feel, all that stuff. So the hamstring stretch right here. We're hinging at the hips, keeping our back straight, chest out, feeling it stretch out back here. You can have a slight bend in the knees, or you can have them locked. I kind of change it up. So whichever one you want, whichever one you feel best with. When I have my knees bent, I feel like I feel it more up to the glute. When I have my knees straight, I feel like I feel it more closer to the knees. Little 10-second break. We're going to go down into down dog with calf stretch, with calf stretch and the knees bent. So right here, we're going to alternate left and right. Right here, keeping my knees bent. Really trying to focus on feeling it in the Achilles, which is right by the calf or right by the ankle. Another thing you could do instead, if you don't want to drop down like that, is you kind of get up against something and go like this for half the time and then switch for half the time, just like that, keeping that knee bent. Notice how I'm not locked out, I'm bent. Just like that, we have straight knee now. Now we're going to go straight with this. Again, you can be down on the ground. This time we're going to stretch out straight. Feel it a lot more in the calves instead of the Achilles. There we go. I like doing it in this position because I can kind of alternate pretty quickly. There we go. quad stretch. So here's what I'm going to use this. I'm going to put my left leg or left foot up, and then I'm going to end up dropping down into it. What I'm doing is trying to stay nice and tall and pushing back, trying to get my butt to touch my foot. So let me kind of turn a little bit so you can see. So I'm trying to slowly sink back. So when I first started doing this on my left leg, this was about as close as I could come to my heel. I literally had like 6 to 7 inches of space. And like right now I can feel that I'm actually touching it. So it's crazy what this did for me. I just did it every day. Whether I was working out or not, I went through this routine. So now we're going right side, quad stretch. So my right leg has been pretty good forever. My left leg has been pretty bad forever. First knee surgery when I think I was like 1 month into being 19. And since then it's been a pain in the butt until recently. And lately it's honestly felt better than when I was a teenager. I mean, it's crazy what it's done for me. Pushing back. Here we go, 15 seconds. We're gonna go into heel elevated lunges. So this is where we're gonna get that heel up in the air. Left foot is gonna be out, right leg is gonna drop back. And then I'm gonna shift forward. Let me turn these sideways so you can see. So I'm gonna drop forward, trying to get my knee way out over the toe. Coming back. So when I do these, when I first started, I had to kind of take a knee and do it. And then actually, if you need help, what I would do is I would hold my foam roller out here and I would come down because I literally couldn't sit in this position with my left knee. I could be like this and then I'd have to kind of hang on and push through it. So we're switching sides here. Right side. Again, if you need the foam roller, just keep it out here. If you need to let the knee drop, that's fine. Here we go. We're coming out. So really trying to push forward and get all of our weight onto that right leg. So my knee is just barely not touching. Coming up and down. Up and down. If you need to use the foam roller to kind of help get in and out of it, totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. Breathe through it. It sounds crazy, but it truly does help to kind of breathe through the discomfort. So now we're going to go into foam rolling. A couple minutes of foam rolling. This is where the sweat begins. So if you know you have like any tight spots, like for me, I know that my calf right here is always super tight. So I'm going to foam roll kind of right there, down by the Achilles for me. If you know like your quads are tight, kind of where the pain is, if you're exercising, you kind of feel pain, or when you're kind of stretching the muscles into their far ends of the range of motion, you feel kind of where it's tight, try to foam roll that spot. So right now I'm foam rolling on my calf because that's where it's tight for me. That might not be the spot for you. So do something else. Ooh. Go nice and slow. Once you find a spot that's tender, we're just gonna sit right there, rock back and forth. Try to breathe through it. It's like you're trying to, when you kind of breathe through that discomfort, you're like telling your body, telling the nervous system that it's okay to kind of release that. So we're just kind of trying to deal with it just a little bit. So now I'm gonna foam roll kind of the back side of my leg, rolling around to the quad on that IT band just a little bit. Might be your right leg, I don't know. Remember, for the foam rolling, you do not have to be doing what I'm doing. I'm doing what I know I need to do. You might have to experiment. Just kind of see what works for you. And a couple seconds left of this. Always hurts. Never feels good to foam roll, but we need it. Oof. Oof. There we go. All right, we're going back into an alternating hip flexor stretch here. Woo! That works up the sweat right there. So getting the legs nice and wide again, that split stance. We're gonna drop into it, feeling it stretch out, sink those hips forward, maintaining the upper body nice and straight. We're not leaning like that. Switching sides. Oh, there we go. If you feel like maybe one side's a little tighter than the other, you can kind of hang out right there. Totally fine. You can modify this workout however you need, or this routine however you need. We go, all right, we're gonna go to a squat hold, heels elevated. So we're gonna stand, heels elevated. We're just gonna drop into it. So what I like to do here is try to really kind of push my knees out, sit back. I'll kind of go one way, turn, go the other way. Kind of widen your feet out, push a little bit. Sometimes I'll grab my toes and try to really pull down into it, feeling it stretch out. There we go. We're gonna drop down to the ground here. We got 90-90 stretch. Left side, so left leg out in front, bend it at 90. Right leg out back, bend it at 90. What we're doing is leaning forward. One thing I've noticed with these, really interesting just by happenstance, is if you kind of put something over here, could be a dumbbell or whatever, and then as you come down, keep some tension here so you can see my upper body begin to kind of rotate away from that left knee. You feel a really nice stretch when you do that. Switching sides. So right knee's out in front at a 90, left leg's out back at a 90. Leaning forward. You should be feeling it in the hips. Here, this back, or this hip on the side. Right side is where you should really be feeling this. You don't have to have this right here. You could just be right here. Leaning forward. Feeling the glutes and hips stretch out. Breathing through. We're trying to push deeper into these stretches. We're not just kind of hanging out here, going along with it. We're trying to focus on what we're doing here. All right, so we're going to do heel elevated lunges, holds. This time we're going to hold it in this position. Just try to sit here. This is where I was talking about. You might need the foam roller big time here, but what I'm going to try to do is get into this position and work to hold it. Knee not on the ground, all my weight on this front leg, trying to push the knee out as far as we can get it, and then we're just going to hold right here. If you need to use this, that's fine. If you need to come up, readjust, that's fine. So what I used to do is actually kind of put my hand on the calf, and that way I would kind of help brace myself. But really, I just try to put all the pressure right here, trying to maximize that range of motion right there. Here we go. If you need to kind of use the foam roller to come up, that's fine. Switching sides. This is the part where you're breathing through. So if you can't just drop all the way down and hang out like this for 40 seconds, that's when you're going to kind of rely on this and take a little bit of your weight off and then hold through whatever spot you can. If you need to at first, drop down to the knee to be able to push through and you still got to hold, totally fine. Just slowly work. Just small marginalized gains is all you're looking for. Every day, just try to go a little bit further. Breathe a little bit deeper into it. Here we go. And up. Hamstring stretch. So I'm going to go a little bit wider with my stretch right here. Here we go. Again, we're hinging at the hips first. And then if you want to bend at the lower back, you can. But this isn't any greater of a stretch than this. So personally, I prefer to stay right here, kind of put my hands around the upper part of the thigh. You can have your legs a little closer in if you want. Breathing, trying to pull deeper into the stretch. Here we go. We got 10 seconds. we're gonna go on a little stretch break. So if you feel anything that's still a little bit tight that you feel you might want to stretch out, this is the time to do it. So I'm gonna do a couple more alternating hip flexor stretches, and then I'm gonna do some calf stretches. So I know I need that too. After this, I believe we're going into, you can do heel elevated squats or you can do alternating pistol squats. Remember, this is kind of a whatever you want to be doing right now for the stretch break. Let me drop here, stretch that out. Oh yeah. You can be stretching out whatever you want to stretch out right here. You do not have to be following what I'm doing for the next 11 seconds. There we go. All right, so you can do heel elevated squats or pistol squats. If you want to use a foam roller to kind of help balance, you can. So for squats, we're just going to drop down, come up, drop down, come up. If you want to do pistols, you can drop down, come up, drop down, come up. There we go. Oof. Good stuff right there. I'm gonna get a couple more. Oh. 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 Let me get one more each side. Oh. Last one for me. Oh yeah. Woo. There we go. Hope you guys enjoy that. I truly hope that this routine helps you become knee pain free. If it does, let me know how your journey's going. Let me know how it's helped you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you on the next one. See you guys.